Hi guys, welcome to Africa Web TV. My name is Phay. Today we are in The Hague where we're going to be having a very interesting discussion with these two beautiful ladies sitting besides me. So first they're going to introduce themselves. Hi and welcome to Africa Web TV.
Thank you for having us.
What's your name?
My name is Akua Konadu. I'm originally from Ghana and I've been living here for the past 15 years, so because I lived in Belgium before, but now I'm here.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Augustina Austin, originally from Ghana as well, and born and bred in the Netherlands. And as far as what I do, I'm a singer, a music artist, I'm a presenter, and I'm also the owner of Abina Online.
Okay, interesting. So the reason why we decided to have this discussion today is because you guys actually do very interesting things. And right now we're talking about the perceptions of Africa and Africans in the diaspora and stuff. So as a singer and a presenter, what do you think about how people perceive Africa?
That's a good question. I don't have a specific idea on Africans per se, but I know that when it comes to Black people, we're often recognized as maybe at first, years ago, we were often just seen as immigrants, working the least of the jobs and stuff. But over the last year, I think it's changing, and I think that Africans in general, because we're kind of making a mark slowly in professional fields, I think that people are kind of respecting our hard work, I think, in general.
What do you think?
What she said, but I think that, like she said, we are making a mark. And as we talked before the cameras were rolling, about the fact that back in the days, like with for example, wearing dashikis to school or something, we were kind of teased, and now it's become a very fashionable and trendy item that has been seen on catwalks on numerous celebrities. So right now it's like, okay, so y'all, everybody's wearing that, okay, but I was wearing that too, and I was getting flagged for it. And the same is with different hairstyles. Like you have beautiful braids, really beautiful braids, and we have cornrows and bento nuts. And now that you have the mainstream celebrities rocking those styles, all of a sudden they get a different name and get credits. And I'm like, but I used to go to school with bento nuts, and people were asking, why didn't your mom do your hair? Like, why?
Exactly.
So basically, that's kind of it. It's nice to see it, but right now, how are we dealing with it? Are we jealous? Are we mad? What are we doing with it?
But do you think it sort of takes away the meaning of, let's say, the dashiki, right? It's a cultural cloth that has a symbolic meaning to some cultures in Africa. But then now people just wear it and they don't really understand the meaning and stuff. Do you think such appropriation takes away the meaning?
It does, because it's then viewed as something that's fashionable and nice, which I totally understand. I mean, that's how fashion goes. I don't think that all of the shiki wearers knew that there was a history behind it. So that part of history disappears. That is just fact. But I think that for us, it could be an opportunity where we kind of lecture the public as to, okay, this is a trend now, but look at where it's coming from. And that's why I created even the platform Abina Online, to just make sure that what's African is celebrated within us, among us, so that people can be able to see, okay, well, which is a trend for us now, has a meaning, and we can now refer to the real source. So I think it's an opportunity for us to kind of explain where things are going, but it can be frustrating sometimes, just as he mentioned.
Definitely.
Yes, it can be really frustrating sometimes, because I work as a PR agent. I completely forgot to tell it. I work as a PR agent.
Tell it. I was
At the beginning
for that one. Don't forget to.
I forgot to. But I work in the PR field, mainly in fashion. I have my own agency, Cosmos and Lipstick, and I meet a lot of people from different backgrounds. And basically, what I see is that people take items of aspects from different cultures and try to make it their own by creating a different story around it. So sometimes it's but you should really know what you're talking about. It's not just, it's colorful and it's beautiful and it's from Africa, and know where it's from. Africa, people, is not a country. it is still a continent.
Listen.
Please. Not all Africans wear dashikis. Please, no. You know, this internet, this Google, you can look for everything now. So the thing is, like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, it really is beautiful, but it has a meaning. So do you know this and this? And sometimes people are open for it, and sometimes like, oh yeah, but you know. So,
but how do we get to the point where we try to educate people, like, hey, the dashiki you're wearing, it means
really
this.
Pretty, but it means this.
Yeah.
It depends. So let's say, okay, here in Holland, what happens is that mainstream to us is US. And once something hits the mainstream, then you have like bloggers, you have TV, fashion panelists, whatever, talking about it on their shows. I think what would create an opportunity for us saying like, okay, hey, let's make use of our network and maybe use a Black or African person that is into fashion journalism or whatever to kind of speak on behalf of what's going on. I see it now happening. I think last time I saw a Ghanaian on De Wereld Draait Door, also talking about this whole movement that Solange brought out, Don't Touch My Hair. They had a representative who kind of is an expert in that field. And I think that if by so doing we can kind of make use of our social medias, Twitter, commenting on the publications that are done is one way. Also using a representative to go and talk for us on television is another way. Making vlogs, making things about it, kind of making noise.
Yeah.
And I think that noise will attract people to listen and be like, okay, let me sit down and listen to this.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, the noise is already there, but I noticed that a lot of people are really defensive. So it's also a thing to, like, don't be defensive, but, like, you know, be open about it. And I think that people will respect you more when you come at them in a, like, friendlier way than
Less angry.
less angry, because you're like,
Yeah.
oh, they're angry Africans are back at it again on the internet.
Or black people.
Or black people
Yeah.
in general.
Aggressive and angry.
That's the whole thing. So I think like having like a particular way of mentioning something or telling something will also make a difference.
Yeah. Both of you have touched upon the issue of hair, which is quite an interesting issue recently because we've seen a lot of women of color, a lot of Africans going natural.
Yes.
Having the big hair, the fro and stuff. What do you think about that?
Good
I've
question.
been natural for like 100 years because I did like the relaxer burning my scalp, so I stopped using it and I didn't really think about it. But when the movement came, I was like, but I've been doing this like for like 5, 6, 7 years. What are you people talking about? So I think it's more like it depends, but then again, it for some people, like when I see like some people started with, oh, let's stop using this and this, let's, you know, start loving our own hair, and then you have like a million different hair care products, so the market is big as well.
Yeah.
But then at some point I think that people jumped on that wagon as well of going natural.
It's kind of interesting that you called it a movement, right? Why would you think the movement started?
I think that, well, just as she said, I think the movement started based on, okay, the kind of an education part. I had been natural before the movement started as well. But I think that people jumped on it because it was like, okay, hey, let's admit that, you know, the relaxing thing is not good for us. And I think also showing the possibilities that could be done with natural hair kind of expose people to stay like, okay, let me try this. Let me just try to do the thing. And you have a lot of people that joined the movement and left it again because they went back to relaxing and were tired of it.
Yeah.
And it's hard because this winter time and having no moist in your hair, having to tie it before you sleep, that's a lot of
is
energy.
a lot of work.
That's why I'm team wig.
That's why
And braids.
Yes, and braids, protective hairstyles.
Yes.
I've been natural for like 3.5 years.
Right.
And my God, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and then in summer I just decided to let my hair out.
Right.
But then that also creates some very interesting things.
It does.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
Have you ever experienced, what are your most fascinating experiences when you've worn your Afro out?
oh my
with
God,
people.
can I touch your hair? And I'm like, but do I ask to touch your hair? Like, do I know you? Have you washed your hands? Like, why? No.
The touching of hair is a classic one because even when they sense that when you pull it, it stays up. Oh, I remember that one. Like in the first grade, I wanted to punch the guy that did it. Charlie, the hair, I fixed it. I've started. You coming to rub your hand and put it up for it to stay there. You a dio.
I have hair. I've had my own hair, and people wanted to touch my hair, and I was like. And then, so a couple of months ago when you met us, I had the crochet braids.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people thought that it was my hair as well. It was my hair. But anyway, so like, especially like Dutch people, they were like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Oh my God. And then I have a part-time job. I work at a cosmetic store. And I was behind the register, and I was doing something. And then this lady, I don't know where she came from. She ran in the store. And she was like, oh my God, you have such beautiful hair. But it was too late to like even do anything. So I was like, so her hand was already stuck in my head. And I was like, excuse me, miss, I don't know what you're doing, but please get your hands out of my hair. How are you? How can I help you?
It's taken hours for it to
And she was like, I was walking past the store and I just came in because I just want to tell you I had beautiful hair. I'm like, thank you. But like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Like, it was like, oh my God. And she was already like in my hair. And I was like,
No.
rude. Did you wash your hands? Did you? No.
Those are kind of the things that a lot of people run into as well. The feeling of the hair and touching. And I think as for the other part, it's more of a challenging thing. Like if you haven't tied your hair right in the evening, fixed it with enough water, or the water hasn't dried up, then your curls, the curls you get in the evening doesn't match. So then you have to switch back to a wig, right in the morning, leaving for work. So that is kind of the struggle that you go through. Not a struggle, but the same old story that comes with going natural. It's our hair, we love it, but it takes work.
It is a lot of work. Sometimes you wake up and then your hair has a mind of its own.
It has.
And then you have to put it in a place that it looks sort of, I don't know, representable and whatever. So sometimes I just like, well, it's my hair. That's what I got. So I'm just going to go out like that.
And work with it. Work what you got.
You go, work with what you got.
Yeah.
But how is it in Ghana though, when it comes to hair, the hair business? Are people also embracing this natural?
Yeah, it is. It is a growing business. You still have the relaxed group, but it's no battle in the sense of that, like in the West, that natural people kind of get mad or angry at people when your hair is relaxed. It's not that intense.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too when I went a couple of months. Well, no, last year my grandmother died, so I went for the burial, and I noticed that there's still a lot of ladies rocking like weaves and wigs, and then you have others who have braids. So there's a lot of diversity, and like the thing that I like is that everybody just doing their own thing. There's no harassment. There's no crazy name calling. It's like, oh, we should do this here too. I mean, here sometimes you have people like, especially on the internet, talking about natural hair and stuff, and then you have somebody who's like, oh, but I still wear weaves or wigs, and then you have tons of comments of angry women talking about, oh no, but you should go natural and it's better, and we need buy black, and we can all do this. And I'm like, but if she chooses, if she's like me, she doesn't have time, and this is easier. What's the problem?
And it's mainly because their reason for doing it is kind of cutting themselves loose from this European state of mind, whereas others are like, I like my natural hair because I like to be natural, but I like the diverse part of us Africans, because we can switch from straight hair to this hair or whatever. Some people just like to keep that, the kind of being diverse and be able to switch it up with any outfit that you like, and to make it a fun experience. So it's a different world, and I think as for on the continent, it's better. It's celebrated in a peaceful way.
You mentioned about mainstream being America, mainly here. Right. So when you talk about mainstream music, it's usually American music. What do you think about African music being on the mainstream?
I like African music. I am proud of my African brothers. I am proud of Sarkodie, who had MTV Awards nominations and stuff, BET Awards nominations. We are in there. We are in there, and everybody's boogieing, acting like they don't want to. Everybody wants to learn the azonto, let's be real, and the shoki. So I'm like, yes, I like it.
I love it. I have to agree with Ikria. It's just and for the artists, get your money, make that money, and make Africa, international, And I think it's all part of, showcasing Africa in a very modern way, an improved way, actually.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love it when they play it on the radio, urban radio stations and stuff like that. So I just say keep on, and we just hope that more will be coming.
Have you played in African music for your non-African friends?
Yes.
And they love it.
They like it.
Yeah.
They at first they're like, "Oh my God, what is it?" I'm like, "No, wait. You need to, feel the beat. Feel. Don't do. Just feel the beat. Yes."
Yeah.
But it's really great because, like, for instance, you have Don Jazzy, who has an African division in Rock Nation with Jay-Z, and he recently signed Tiwa Savage. So like, we're going cross cultures, cross borders. It's really good.
So tell us more about your PR and makeup.
No,
consultancy.
I don't do makeup, only on myself. And I'm not really the greatest, so thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, it started off as a hobby or something fun. And then I started, I did a couple of internships here in Holland and in Spain and at different PR agencies and event agencies. And I was like, what these people do, I can do it as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I've always been thought like, if there's no room for you somewhere, create your own.
Yeah.
And then with that mind, I was like, yes, I'm going to do it myself.
Yes.
So I looked online, and then I saw that there were a lot of other women like me who just started off, who were looking for guidance and more to learn from, because when you reach out to certain people, they are scared that you're going to take their ideas or stuff. But I'm like, I'm looking for a mentor. I'm not looking to copy you. I'm not looking to take over your business. And it was really hard, so I was like, you know what, I can do this. I got this.
Yeah.
I went online, I did my research, and then I ended up talking with a lot of people from mainly New York. And that's how I was like, okay, we got this, I got this, I can do this. I went out, I went to events, I started networking. I started doing some research, taking online courses at night, but it was worth it. And that's how I like trained myself, and I went out and I learned, and I was like, yes, I got this. And then recently I got in contact with other African ladies. Two live in Africa and others are in UK and the US. And then we started this platform, PR Chat Africa, which is on Twitter. And then that's how we started talking, and we exchanged ideas, and then once every week on Thursdays we have the chats. So a lot of people also contribute and join in the conversations. So it's like really connecting and linking with even other Africans around the globe about business, personal things, everything. So I was like, it's a shame that there's not a lot of people out there who you can reach out to.
Yeah.
But if you set your mind to do something, you got this.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
You can do this.
Yay!
And a little bit more about your blog and your fashion.
Well, the first and most thing I do that I love is music. Music goes with me everywhere I go, and that's kind of my primary thing that I do. But next to that, I have my, something that actually started as a hobby but is now have become my main thing, which is Abina Online. Abina Online is, in short words, it's an online platform for focusing about African fashion and lifestyle. Yeah. And it's focusing on Africans around the world. The reason why I started it was because I felt there was a lack of a community of diasporans. We call ourselves the second generation, actually born and bred in Europe, and then we have generations coming after us. The same goes for Africans in London, Africans in New York, and we kind of have our own culture. We don't know it yet. Some of us do, but we do have our own culture wherein we're bred in an African culture at home, but when we go out, we meet this European culture and we combine the two. Yes. So the result of that is having our own language, having our own dress code. You see African fashion evolving in a way that we blend the European styles with the African fabrics and you name it. So you have all these different type of products of a culture which is evolving, but it's like 5 years ago, we weren't really connecting. Now it is happening that we are connecting in a sense that, okay, with the Azonto videos, we kind of log in and we see our brothers and sisters, I call it brothers and sisters, in UK doing the dance and doing all their thing. Having African music going to mainstream is like it's kind of a development.
Yeah.
Evolution, I don't know if it's that yet, but it's developing. So I kind of wanted a platform that could relate to me. Black Americans have this, where they log on every day and have platforms, Essence, Ebony, and they're like, okay, here's my culture, here is my language, I'm connecting with the people that know how I speak and where I come from. But as far as Africans were concerned, I was really missing that. So I was like, let me start my own, which started as a blog and then gone onto a legitimate website. We have some contributing writers. And we focus on all different kind of elements relating to our culture, fashion, and lifestyle. If it is a designer that comes out on the mainstream or whatever runway, New York Fashion Week, then we will probably be the first to cover it. So in that way, we celebrate it. In that way, we bring all people together, and we say, you know what, we're part of an African culture which is developing, but it's growing outside of Africa. Here is where we are, and this is what we do. So that in short is what Abina Online is about.
Tell us the name of your website, please.
AbinaOnline.com. AbinaOnline.com. Yeah.
Well, do you guys have any last words you would like to say to somebody out there? Because I am pretty sure from everything that you have explained, including the discussion that we have today, we have a young African girl out there who's like, wow, I want to be like these ladies one day. Because you're really doing phenomenal work.
Thank you.
So any last words you would like to say?
I would agree with Akua. If you're not invited to the scenes where you want to get into, create your own. The same goes for me as far as music. Probably done plenty of auditions or whatever that I didn't get through, but at some point you're gonna have to be in your room, write down your own songs, look for the places where you can perform or something like that. Create your own environment. The online thing makes it so easy. YouTube, Instagram and stuff makes it so easy for you to create your own thing. And what she said also is gaining the knowledge, connecting yourself with people that you think have everything that you need to make it forward. There's this African proverbs, all of the white people have taken it. What's it called? It takes a village to
raise a child.
Yeah. Every professional needs their village.
Yeah.
If you're a professional musician or whatever, you need your village. You need your advisor. You need your PR worker. You need your stylist. You need your what? Even Africa Web TV. Africa Web TV. You are your own village, right? So I would say that create your village.
Yeah. Okay, guys, you've heard it yourself. Create your village and open your own doors. Basically, break your own doors. That was the interesting discussion that I've had today with these two beautiful ladies. And if you have anything that you want to add to this interesting discussion, make sure to add your comments down below. So till we meet again next time, this is from me, Phay,
Akua, Augustina,
and the crew behind Africa Web TV. It's bye for now.
I'm a king, yes, I'm a king.